Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is, wherever in the world it is that you are. Welcome once more to another live stream of Alexandra Mayer's Live, page by page, modern English version, reading and commentary of the Bible. So today we're going to go into Exodus 15. Yesterday was kind of an exciting day because we went through Exodus 14, where the Hebrews, who have been enslaved by Egypt for quite some time, finally escaped to freedom by crossing the Red Sea. That is probably one of the most noted stories within the Old Testament of the Bible. And I really liked that story. It really kind of touched me yesterday because, from my perspective, even though that story is about a mass group of people retaining faith, it's also about one person not only adhering to their faith, but finding self confidence. Because in the very beginning, when God called out to Moses, Moses truly didn't think that he had it within to be able to find the words to get others to listen to him. So God did give him an assistant, Aaron, who probably did a tremendous amount of the talking when it came to convincing people that there were going to be plagues coming, convincing people that they were indeed going to find their freedom. But I think Moses likely did a lot too, but he just didn't think at first that he had the gift of speech, but he did. And it was interesting because even though God was talking right to him, he still had issues. But it goes to show that when we do have a calling and we feel that calling from within, we should listen to it. We should listen to our instincts. I think it's very important. So, anyway, let's continue. Exodus 15, a song of Moses. Then Moses and the children of Israel sang this song to the Lord and spoke, saying, I will sing to the Lord, for he has triumphed gloriously. He has thrown the horse and his rider into the sea. The Lord is my strength and song, and he has become my salvation. He is my God, and I will praise him, my father's God, and I will exalt him. The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name. Pharaoh's chariots and his army he has thrown into the sea. His chosen captains also are drowned in the Red Sea. The depths have covered them. They sank to the bottom like a stone. Your right hand, O Lord, is glorious in power. Your right hand, O Lord, shatters the enemy. In the greatness of your excellence, you overthrow those who rise up against you. You send out your wrath. It consumes them like stubble. With the blast of your nostrils, the waters were gathered together. The flowing waters stood upright as a heap, and the depths were congealed in the heart of the sea. The enemy said, I will pursue, I will overtake, I will divide the spoil. My lust shall be satisfied upon them. I will draw my sword, my hand shall destroy them. You blew with your wind, and the sea covered them. They sank like lead in the mighty waters. Who is like you, O Lord, among the gods? Who is like you, glorious in holiness, fearful in praises, doing wonders? You stretched out your right hand, and the earth swallowed them. In your mercy you have led the people whom you have redeemed. You have guided them by your strength to your holy dwelling. The people have heard and are afraid. Sorrow has taken hold on the inhabitants of Philistia. Then the chiefs of Edom were amazed. The mighty men of Moab, trembling, takes hold of them. All the inhabitants of Canaan are melted away. Fear and dread fall upon them. By the greatness of your arm, they are as still as stone until your people pass over, O Lord, until the people whom you have purchased pass over. You shall bring them in and plant them on the mountain of your inheritance, in the place, O Lord, which you have made your dwelling, in the sanctuary, O Lord, which your hands have established. The Lord will reign forever and ever. For the horses of Pharaoh went in with his chariots and with his horsemen into the sea, and the Lord brought back the waters of the sea upon them. But the children of Israel walked on dry land in the midst of the sea. That was actually quite nice. I like this part of Exodus 15. All right. Hello, Gary. Welcome back. Welcome back. We are in Exodus 15. Those of you who may want to follow along, remember you can always download the Bible from the Google Play Store, also the App Store through Apple. Just type in the Bible and you'll see the app. This is Exodus 15 Modern English Version. And yes, that was actually quite the war strategy when you think about it. It's quite the war strategy that God told Moses and Aaron to utilize by crossing the Red Sea. Because remember, they could have traveled in a different direction. They could have gone a different way. But God knew that they were going to be pursued by the Egyptian army. And they had enough of a head start to where all of them were able to cross the sea and get out of that seabed before the Egyptians did. And God was able to close those waters over them. So that was interesting. That was quite the story. And so many movie makers have depicted that scene in quite a good way. My favorite depiction of the Hebrews crossing the Red Sea is an animated version. The story of Moses. I don't know if it's Disney who put out the movie or Pixar or what, but I really like that animated version. I thought it was very well done. All right, let's continue. The Song of Miriam. Miriam, the prophetess, the sister of Aaron, took a timbrel in her hand, and all the women went out after her with timbrels and with dancing. Miriam answered them, "Sing to the Lord, for he triumphed gloriously. The horse and his rider he has hurled into the sea." The waters of Marah and Elim. Then Moses led Israel from the Red Sea, and they went out into the wilderness of Shur. And they went 3 days in the wilderness and found no water. When they came to Marah, they could not drink of the waters of Marah, for they were bitter. Therefore, the name of it was called Marah. So the people murmured against Moses, saying, "What shall we drink?" And he cried to the Lord, and the Lord showed him a tree. When he had thrown it into the waters were made sweet. Interesting. I wonder if there was something in that tree that neutralized whatever chemical or whatever toxin was in that water. There's actually a lot of science in the Bible, or at least events that elude to science and chemistry and whatnot. There, he made for them a statute and an ordinance, and there he tested them. He said, "If you diligently listen to the voice of the Lord your God, and do what is right in his sight, and give ear to his commandments, and give all his statutes, I will not afflict you with any of the diseases with which I have afflicted the Egyptians. For I am the Lord who heals you." Then they came to Elim, where there were 12 wells of water and 70 palm trees, and they camped there by the waters. Interesting. So there was disease in those days, and God had the knowledge as to how to cure whatever those afflictions were to keep his people safe, which was yet another reason why it was a good idea to follow the God of the Hebrews at that point in time. I'll bet you their numbers grew simply because people saw, hmm, this group of people is surviving in these tumultuous times. Perhaps we should join them. Strategy. Lots of strategy going on in the Bible. Lots of strategy. All right, everyone. Well, that's it for today. We went through Exodus 15. Tomorrow, we will go into Exodus 16. I was thinking about going into it today, but there's no rush. I have some other things that I have to do. So, everyone, take care. And let's see, what does Gary say? Gary says, you think they'd have known better than to pursue into the sea, knowing what God already had done for the Israelites previously. Yes, you would have thought, but they really didn't have any choice. I mean, you have to keep in mind that in these times, people were taught from birth, at least in Egypt, to follow their leader. In fact, the Pharaoh was viewed as a human personification of a god. They believed the Pharaoh was divine and God himself. That's what they believed. They were taught that from babies. So when the Pharaoh said jump, they jumped, even though they'd seen all those plagues. God had turned day into darkness for 3 days at one point. They saw the water turn to blood. They saw those frogs come, flies, gnats, so many things happened, but still they believed, and also they were not even told the truth, most likely, of all those plagues. There was no way that Pharaoh and his council were going to tell the masses everything, because the key to keeping the masses in check was them not being educated. It's the same thing today. If you want to keep a group of people under your thumb, you don't tell them the truth. You don't educate them. You see tiny tyrants using that tactic even today. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm not doing this at a specific time just yet. Okay. Um, for me, it's quite the accomplishment doing these Bible readings and commentary daily. Okay. I have not locked down a specific time yet. Reason being that my regular job sometimes requires me to do different shifts. Sometimes the shifts are at night, other times the shifts are during the day. So my sleep schedule is not consistent. One day, if I ever do attain a consistent sleep schedule, we will have consistent times for these readings. But what I can promise is that, God willing, I will do these daily. That's as that's all I'm able to give you right now. But I do appreciate those of you who manage to find me when you do. If you miss the live reading, you can always listen to the replay. There is a specific playlist on this channel, this Alexandra Mayer's official YouTube channel, that has all of these live readings in order. So at some point, I'll probably figure out a domain to get for this project, and I'll post all the videos there, but we're not to that point just yet. So, yeah, well, I never have either. I never took the time. I've always wanted to. There have been various times in my life to where I thought to myself, you know what? I want to read the Bible cover to cover. But something always happened to where I wasn't able to do so. But I'm doing it now. And it's ironic because I'm not reading the Bible as a physical book. I'm reading it through the Bible app on my iPad, but it's the same thing. And reading it with some of you out there is keeping me on track. It's keeping me motivated. I like doing the commentary with this. I like getting feedback from those of you out there who also are interested in the Bible and believe in Christianity. And it's just making it so much more fun. I'm really enjoying this journey. So take care, everyone. I do have to get going, but you can always follow me on Instagram or Twitter, or just subscribe to this YouTube channel. If you visit my official website, alexandramayers.com, you can learn a lot more about me and other projects that I like to do and that I enjoy doing. And that's about it. So take care. Have a great day. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye bye.